Giga is going to fight Kattar. Now, that's a huge clue. It's a huge clue because Dana has not officially said to us what is going to be next for Volkanovski. He has not officially said it. He has very much leaned into and given us every reason to believe that Max versus Rodriguez is the number one contenders match, but he hasn't said it. That keeps hope alive. Now, Giga versus Kattar. Oh, come on. Come on. That's amazing. And Kattar is nobody's fool, particularly in the stand-up. Kattar is as tough as an old leather boot. That's going to be a fantastic match. Max versus Yair, going to be an awesome match. But you still have an overtone of Henry Cejudo floating around. That's what I want to talk to you guys about. So, I saw Henry over the weekend, face-to-face, private. Said, Henry, I am taking your call out of Volkanovski sincerely. I have told my audience that I know the King of Cringe, I know Triple C, and I know Henry Cejudo. That call out was done by Henry Cejudo. Am I a fool? He said, Uncle Chael, you're not at all. That is the match that I want. He got real serious. You guys just got to trust me on this. I can't quite act it out. I can't show you what his eyes look like. I can't redo the tone. You got to trust me. He was sincere. This was Henry Cejudo. And he began to break it down. And he was extremely complimentary of Volkanovski. As he broke it down, he put a lot of praise on Volkanovski. He identified what it is Volk does so well, and then he offered what he believes he can do to counter that would lead him to a victory. I said, Henry, I'm going to keep telling people this, but I need to be right. I need to know that you're training. I need to know that you're serious. I need to know that you're in the USADA pool. I need to know this isn't a game that we're going to build a whole bunch of attention towards, and then you sit across from Dana and you put a gun in his face. Is this real? This is about competition. Your life will be different if you don't take this challenge. Your life will be different if you do take this challenge. He knew what I was saying, and he said yes. He said, I will never bring up money with the UFC if they give me this opportunity. I have an agreement. I just need that. And we left it at that. I've basically given you every single word that we said. I want to emphasize upon you, though, that when we hypothesized a week ago that this wasn't the King of Cringe and this wasn't Triple C, this is Henry Cejudo, a dirty, rotten competitor at the end of the day that's still got a fire burning inside of him. We are right. That's who he is. Where does that go is anybody's prediction. We have a major clue, though, with Giga and Kattar. I can remember a night, guys, we were in California. Who's going to fight John Jones? And we had 4 light heavyweights on the card, 2 matches. And Dana was trying to identify what the number one contender could be. And put a check in this guy's column. I'll put a mark over here in this box. Every time Dana did it, he came back, nodded it. They were tied. Lyoto Machida and Ryan Bader and Shogun Hua and Brandon Vera. And Dana said this. It was the first time, and it's the only time he's ever done it. He said, both of these guys are going to fight tonight. Whoever looks better gets the shot. He's never said that since, and I wish he would because it was fun. It was so much fun. Whoever looks better, that's a very different litmus test than who wins or who does it the fastest, or is it a stoppage? Is a knockout count more than a submission? These were his only words, whoever looks better. I submit for you, are we in that spot now? Are we in that spot right now? Giga is a huge name who is a main event fighter who's coming off a ton of wins, but one of them was a main event spot on ESPN. Kattar was the guy that they went to, even if he got the silver medal, to fight Max Holloway on ABC. They had record crazy amount of people watching. So those guys matter. And then, of course, we've got Max amongst the best ever. Of course, we've got Yair amongst the most dynamic. I mean, Yair Rodriguez, watching him fight is like playing a video game. That's the only time you're going to see those moves. Remember when Yair was bent over, couldn't even see his opponent, threw an elbow, knocked him out with 1 second? I mean, this guy is, if you don't know Yair Rodriguez, you are in for a treat. So what happens? I have never been sold on the idea that Max, no matter what Max does, gets back to Volkanovski. I thought Volkanovski would push back. Only in that, look, I've done it again. I did it all night, I did it a little longer. 10 rounds. Got his hand raised. 2 different continents. 2 different sets of judges. 2 different jurisdictions. Same result. I thought that Volkanovski would push back and say, yeah, sure, I get it. He's got the right. He can come back, but give me some other guys in between. Volk's never done that. Volk came close one time, and he kind of said what I'm saying about, look, I've already done that, and then I did it again. Get me some. He kind of said that, but he never put his foot down. In fact, the one time that Volkanovski finished that thought, he said, yes, I will fight Max again. So where I thought that was going to go, it's not going to go. Volk is willing to do it, but Volk doesn't want to wait. So only thing he's asked of us, don't make me wait. Show the sincerity by saying, I'll even leave the weight class and it doesn't need to be for a title. I need to go to work. Nothing in this sport is a perfect world, but I would like him to get his way. I think what he's asking for is what we generally seek guys out to have that attitude. Now we finally got a guy with the attitude and we're not going to appease him. It's tough. It's tough to do. I would predict for you, unless Volkanovski waves the magic wand over Henry Cejudo. If Volkanovski does that, we're having a totally different conversation. If Henry can keep doing Henry and get Volkanovski to demand that it's Henry, absent of that, I think he's going to have to fight. I think Henry's going to have to do a match. I think he's going to have to show that he's not rusty. I think he's going to have to show how he looks within the weight class. I think he can become a number 1 contender with only one match, and I'm not certain that it even matters who it's against. In all fairness, I just named 4 killers for you that are very deserving, right? Between Giga, Kattar, Max, Yair. I'm not sure that Henry can't wipe the board with all of them. I just think he needs a win over anyone. In all fairness, anybody that gets in there but show that he looks good, that's my own prediction. I think Dana wants to see that Henry means it. I don't think me coming out and saying that I talked to Henry in a back room and boy, I could see it in his eyes. I don't think that's going to do it. I think Dana's going to need to know this isn't a one-off. This isn't a one-time thing. You're back. I don't want you to prove it on the back. I give you a fight, you win, you promise me you'll defend it, and I could take you your word. I think you got to come in on the front end. That's my own guess. But that hasn't been stated. As a matter of fact, at 145 pounds, nothing has been stated. We're looking at the clues that we have. We're attempting to make guesses. Dana's allowing this conversation to continue. He's allowing the idea to percolate organically. What if, though? What if Dana said, I'm going to have these 2 fights. Whoever looks better, I'll make my decision after that. It's a little hard to do. Right, the night that he did it, in the example that I gave you, it was the same night. One was the co-main event, one was the main event. They fought back-to-back. It's a little bit different. These are separated. It's not the same thing. But it's the same situation in that there's no clarity, but there's some damn good options.